predicting the GOAT debate by the end of 2025. You know, that's a hard subject, and it's a very hard subject to actually debate. But that's what we're going to do today, man. That's what we're going to do today. So make sure to subscribe, because we're trying to hit 700 subscribers by the end of the year, or 1,000, whatever works. But I'll start off by showing you guys my current GOAT list, okay? At number 1, I do have Demetrius Johnson. I cannot give Jon Jones the GOAT. He cannot be a GOAT when you've abused steroids like that and had all that controversy. So at number 1, Demetrius Johnson. Number 2, Jon Jones. I mean, Jon Jones is a GOAT. He's not the GOAT, but, you know, his resume is insane, and his longevity is also insane. The third place, we have GSP. I'm not that high on GSP, but, you know, I'll give him 3. Fourth place, Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is obviously in my number 4 spot already, so he's already up there. But I'll get into it a little bit later, but I do think he has a chance to become the actual GOAT. Then we have Alexander Volkanovski at number 5. You know, I wanted to give Volk the 4th spot, but when you get beat by the same guy twice, I understand it's a higher weight class, but when you lose to someone twice, you can't be higher than them. 6, we have Jose Aldo, obviously 10 years unbeaten. That's insane. 7, Anderson Silva. I made a video talking about why he was overrated. You know, I think I've come to terms with it. He's not that overrated. I mean, he was on a 15-fight winning streak at one point. You gotta give him credit. 8, we do have Alex Pereira. This might be a hot take. I love Alex Pereira. I think what he's done in such a short time in the UFC has been incredible. And you gotta give the man credit for what he's done in the short time. He's picking up wins over Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira. He did not face Glover Teixeira. I don't know why I said that, but still. 9, we have Kamaru Usman. I do not think he gets the respect he deserves, so that is why he is in my top 10. I'm a big Kamaru Usman fan. I think he is number 2 welterweight, just behind GSP, of course. Obviously, he was a minute away from breaking Anderson Silva's record until he got head kicked by Leon Edwards. So, you know, he's up there. And 10 for me, Khabib. That might be a hot take. That might be too low. That might be too high. I won't get too much into it. I think he was one of the most dominant fighters in UFC history, but he didn't do it long enough. And when you're at the top for 2 years, maybe, you can't be the greatest of all time, or even my top 5. But the main point of this video, the 3 fighters that I believe can break into the GOAT debate or the top 10 for Merab, or these 3 fighters, I kind of spoiled it. But Merab, like I said, he's not in my top 10 right now. I just showed you guys it. But I believe if he has a good year, which I'll get into, what he needs to do to get in my top 10. And Islam and Pereira, I believe those 2 actually have the ability to be the GOAT of the sport. Call me crazy, but depending on Alex Pereira and Islam Makhachev's 2025, that determines the GOAT debate. Because both of these guys have the opportunity to be number 1. So let's get straight into it. First off, I'll try to for Merab, because I'm going to say what Merab has to do to get into the top 10. Because usually in the top 10, you don't see a lot of bantamweights. Like Dominic Cruz, you don't see him in a lot of people's top 10s. The bantamweight division is kind of forgotten about in that aspect. But, you know, I'll get into what Merab Dvalishvili has to do to be in my top 10. Number 1, he has to beat Umar at 311. I think that's the base. I think that's common sense. Of course, he has to win his next fight. Yeah. It's a horrible stylistic matchup for him, but if he gets it done, dude, he's up there. Then he has to defend against O'Malley or another top contender. O'Malley is still number 1 ranked. Whoever it be, maybe it's Jan again. I don't know. If he defends again, he's getting up there. And the final thing I do think he has to do is to break into my top 10, be Alessandro Pantoja. If Pantoja comes up, which I think he will, I think he deserves to. He comes up and faces Merab, goes for double champ, and Merab is like, nope. Hey guys, Pantoja will not beat me. Yeah, I think Merab puts his foot down and says, no, Pantoja, you're gonna go back down to flyweight and be a good boy. Merab's gonna beat him, and I think if he does beat Pantoja, he is in the top 10. This is my top 10 if Merab does do that by the end of the year. Of course, he replaced Khabib at top 10. That's such a casual take. You may hate me for that, and that does sound like a crazy casual take, but Merab has a better resume than Khabib. Oh, I said it. When you look at Merab's resume, Yan, O'Malley, Cejudo, so many incredible wins. This guy is on another level. Those 2 first losses in his UFC career, who really cares about them when you have wins over those type of people? And yeah, man, you gotta give him credit. Number 10, he replaces Khabib because, like I said, if he does do the stuff I have planned out for him to do in the year 2025. He's undisputably 10 over Khabib. The next person we're going to talk about is Islam Makhachev, and here's what I think he has to do to become number 1 all time. Here's what I think he has to do to become the official GOAT. Islam Makhachev has to beat Arman at 311. Of course, same thing as Merab. He has to win their next fight. Arman is a bad stylistic matchup for Islam, probably the worst in the division. Then Islam has to defend against Charles Oliveira again. Pretty similar to Merab's route, but Islam would have the most defenses in lightweight history if he does beat Arman, and then he gets another one on top of it against Oliveira. And I think if Islam does move up and wins that welterweight title, whoever it may be against, whether it be against Shavkat, whether it be against Bilal, whether it be against freaking Ian Gary, I don't know. But whoever he moves up and faces, and if he wins that fight, he's the GOAT. He is a GOAT. That is undisputed. I'm sorry. I don't really care about a fluke KO that he had against Adriano Martin from 15 years ago. That doesn't bother me, and I couldn't care less about that. So this is what my top 10 would look like if Islam does do that. So he's obviously number 1. Then we have Demetrius, John Jones, GSP, Volk, all of those guys. And then if you noticed at the number 10 spot, I had Khabib, and Usman was at number 9. But I do think that Islam Makhachev becoming the official GOAT gives Khabib a slight edge. Is that a crazy take? Because I don't know, the coaching, the Dagestani aura, that does give Khabib a little bit more in terms of talking about his career. Islam is helping Khabib's legacy, in my opinion, not damaging it. So, Islam, of course, would be number 1 and put Khabib up a spot in my GOAT debate. And the final person we want to talk about is Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira does have the chance to become the official GOAT. And here's how. So, of course, he has to beat Magomed Ankalaev. That's number 1 for me. Of course, this man has to beat the boogeyman of the division, the nightmare matchup for him. And if he does beat him, all he has to do is move up to heavyweight and becomes the first UFC triple champ. I say like it's easy thing. All he has to do is do that. That's not an easy thing, of course. Becoming the first triple champ in the division like heavyweight, I mean, obviously, the heavyweight's not a good division, but you look at the top 2 fighters in that division. Tom Aspinall and John Jones. I think both of those fighters beat Alex Pereira. So, of course, it's really hard for Alex Pereira to do that. But if he honestly does, if Alex Pereira goes up and beats John Jones, he beats Tom Aspinall, I think we can see a Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira at the end. It doesn't have to be either, both of them, of course. As long as Alex Pereira is heavyweight champion, he's a GOAT. That's just my opinion. Now we'll look at the rankings if Alex Pereira does. We'll look at the GOAT debate if Alex Pereira does what I said he has to do. Obviously, he's at number 1. Pretty similar. Just takes Khabib out of the top 10. Of course, I'll have Alex Pereira twice on this list. That's a problem. So Khabib would still be 10. But, you get the gist. And I'm going to go over the final. I'm going to go over if all 3 of these guys did what I have planned out for them, which is very unlikely, I recognize that, but all 3 of them do what I said they have to do by the end of 2025. Here's what the official GOAT list would look like for me. It would be Alex Pereira at 1. Okay, I think if Alex Pereira gets that done because of triple champ, it's greater than anything Islam can possibly do. Call me crazy. Of course, Islam at 2. Demetrius Johnson at 3. John Jones at 4. That is so crazy that I have John Jones at 4. If all of this was to happen, I don't think all of this will happen. I don't think it's very likely that Alex Pereira to win the heavyweight title, but still, John Jones at 4. Volk at 5. Jose Aldo at 6. Anderson Silva at 7. Merab at 8. I do think if he gets what I said done, then he is 8th of all time. I hate saying Merab is 8th of all time in the GOAT debate, but it's the fact. And number 9, we have Khabib, because like I said, I do think he gets a boost if Islam does what I said. And to 10, we have Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a great fighter, underrated attack. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. It's a very confusing video. I hope you guys understood it very well. I'm sorry if I yap too much, but make sure to subscribe. Octagon Post out.